Hi, my name is Rachel and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about how to mix paints to create that all-important and yet often dreaded color wheel. So, let's get started. To begin with, we're going to focus on the three most important colors in the entire color wheel, because with these three colors, you'll be able to mix the 9 other colors present without getting into any other paint tubes. These three colors are called the primary colors. Primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. And they're called primaries because we can't mix any other colors together to get them. Now stop. Before you go grab that yellow you have been dying to try, we need to talk about paint tubes. When you go into the art store, one of the first things you might notice is that one color, like yellow, might come in 1,000 different tubes. And that's because paint tubes that we buy in the store will either lean to the warm side or the cool side of the color wheel. Now, if you only have one of each primary color, that's okay, especially if that's your means. Just know that if you mix a cool yellow with a warm red, you'll still get orange. It just might come out a little muddy, and some artists do that intentionally. For our purposes, we'll be using the colors I use most in my own art practice. The colors we'll be using for our color wheel are Cadmium Yellow Medium, Cadmium Red Medium, Alizarin Crimson, Phthalo Blue, and Ultramarine Blue. So, let's get started. I began by drawing out a circle and I divided it into 12 pieces using a ruler and a protractor. You can do whatever feels best for you to create your color wheel. And I'm beginning by filling in the primaries. I started with Cadmium Yellow Medium, then I moved on to Cadmium Red Medium, because that is closer to what color theorists call true red. And then I finally moved on to Phthalo Blue as our primary blue, because again, it is also what color theorists consider closer to true blue than ultramarine. So next I'm going to go ahead and mix what we call secondary colors. The secondary colors are orange, green, and violet. Starting with orange, I'm going to section off a little bit of my yellow, and then I'm going to grab just a tiny bit of that cadmium red and start mixing it in. It's important to know that the cadmium red is stronger than the cadmium yellow, so it's better to add tiny bits of red into the yellow at a time and build up the color that way than going in reverse and trying to add the yellow to the red. You'll just find that you end up using a lot more paint, and it can also be a lot more of a headache. So I'm finishing that up and then moving on to the next color, which is green. To create green, I'm going to take a little bit of my Phthalo Blue and a little bit of my cadmium yellow, and I'm just moving them down to the bottom of my palette paper so that I don't accidentally mix into my orange. Now, just like the cadmium red, the Phthalo Blue is another overpowering color. We're going to mix tiny bits of the blue into the yellow until we get a green that suits our needs. Our last secondary color that we'll be mixing is violet. For this, we're going to be using the Alizarin Crimson and the Ultramarine Blue because they make a pretty pure purple compared to the Phthalo Blue and the Cadmium Red. I'm going to start by using the Alizarin Crimson first because, like our yellow, it's a little less powerful than the Ultramarine Blue. When mixing purple, you'll find though that you have to add a lot more of both colors to get the color that we're looking for. As I'm mixing, the way I check this is I scrape the palette paper with the palette knife and I look for what the residual color is underneath. At the beginning, you can see it leans very, very warm and very, very red, but as I start adding in more and more of that ultramarine, it starts to turn a pretty average shade of purple. Again, this takes practice, so don't be discouraged. Now with all the colors mixed, I'm going to go ahead and add them to my color wheel. The orange between the yellow and the red, the green between the yellow and the blue, and the violet between the red and the blue. Last but certainly not least, we are going to paint the tertiary colors. Now the tertiary colors are the colors that lie right in between a primary and a secondary color. To make the tertiary colors, I'm going to use the colors that we already mixed, are orange, green, and violet, and I'm going to add a little bit of the primary it's closest to. So, for example, that first color in between orange and yellow is yellow-orange. So I'm going to take the orange we mixed and I'm going to add a little yellow to it. Next up is red-orange, so I'm going to take that same orange we mixed and add some red to it. Next is yellow-green, so we're going to take the green we mixed and add yellow to it. And then we have blue-green, so we're going to take the green we mixed and start adding blue to it. Now you might have to adjust as you go along, but that's okay. Acrylic paints dry fairly quickly, so also don't be afraid to use a spray bottle to keep your paints wet. Our last two tertiary colors are red-violet and blue-violet. And just as a reminder, when mixing these two tertiary colors, you're still going to want to use the Alizarin Crimson and Ultramarine Blue. Otherwise, like I've said before, your colors might get a little muddy. And voila! You have completed the color wheel. Now that you know how to mix paints to create the color wheel, the sky's the limits on what you can create. You can add whites and blacks to create tints and shades. You can mix multiple colors together and see what the outcome is. This is the foundation to color theory. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps you in your own art practice wherever you are in the journey. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more art content, whether it be educational or just stuff from my own practice, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thanks, and I hope you have a wonderful day.